So even with gPanel being pretty intuitive today and being able to navigate, one of the most requested features our users have had is to improve the user experience, to make it easier to find and take certain actions. And we've spent a lot of time reimagining that with our user advisory board. Thank you all for participating in that. We've shown concepts along the way. We've gotten feedback, and we're proud to announce that we've gotten to the first milestone of being able to bring that forward. The new user experience is going to be something that allows us to build more modern looking features into gPanel to make the application faster, more responsive, and to provide some new levels of functionality we weren't able to provide in the past on the old tech platform. So Mark is going to toggle on the new experience in the rollout at the end of the month. You'll be able to, as a user, go in there and switch between version 1 and version 2. And we've made this toggle individual per user so that you can control which version of the UI you want to see. And this will be the place where you can come and try out and see some of the new user experience. The first module that this exists in is user management. If you go into something like directory or another area of the application, you'll still see the menu on the left has the new navigation, but the inner UI is still the legacy UI for those pieces. So as we roll this out module by module, each one of those areas will get retouched. So the next one that the team's working on is directory, and that they'll be rolling out, and then they'll navigate their way through these kind of one at a time. So search within user management, you'll see is now up in the left and embedded. We've added more visual cues to things like status, so you can see color and badges on it. And then we've made it easier to see and more intuitive when it comes to things like filters and things on the right-hand side of this grid. So things are more in context of the area map that you're at and easier for you to navigate and apply some of the filtering capabilities in each area. There's some of the kind of key features. And Mark, do you want to drive into a specific user?
Yeah, absolutely. So other things on this page would be you still have the ability to select a user. And now the actions are located in this section here. And you can easily choose any of your actions here. For example, adding a user to a group. This is now what it looks like. We have integrated these drop-down menus, search bar. You can change the user roles pretty easily. Here's an example of how the organization will look. The ability to have a drop-down menu and select from your organizations and so forth.
Beyond the things Mark was showing you, the left nav I didn't really talk about. We've taken some efforts to organize and segment that so you can see key features people use and then finding things like reports and automation and administration and billing at the bottom. So we'll continue to add more kind of navigation cues. Some of the things that we're going to talk about coming up in the future is the ability to bookmark specific areas in the app that you want to go to and be able to quickly access just those bookmarks.
So now we're going to take a closer look at an individual user.
So when you look at a user account now, we've taken some elements like stats on the user and made them more visible than they were before. So they have top billing there. We've taken the navigation tabs that were nested tabs and just brought those up to the top to make it cleaner and easier to find. And then you'll notice some of the common controls are the same across every area of the app, the drop downs, text fields, the interactions with them, and what they look like when they're active or they take focus. That all goes across any area. And you'll see that not just in user management, but if you're getting into directory or other things, that all feel more familiar as we roll this out.
The save button is now incorporated here. And it's always visible, unlike before where it was only visible when you would make a change. So now it's always visible. And you can see that if you make any sorts of changes or edits, you'll have access to it here. Across the top, we have, instead of listed on the side here, just to save a little bit of real estate, we've now put the subsections across the top here, and you can just scroll through. This first subsection is the general settings. Everything else would be very similar to how it was, except for the interface, of course, is different. If we head over to something like Drive, they should all seem very familiar. You still have access to the user's Drive folders and files here. But now the ability to do some things, we've just changed things around to make it a lot easier to access. You can view the folder or file here, rename it, or add sharing. These buttons here that used to be to the upper right, they're not here. So you can hit your full drive transfer here. You'd be able to create a folder here.
What's neat about this is seeing the buttons stay in context of the area where they matter now versus having to be confused in the past which ones are at the top or which ones are in the context of a panel. And then seeing again at what Mark's showing, like this common grid coming across not just the user management, but also in Drive. So you get the same kind of feel and experience as you go throughout gPanel.
Absolutely. So just to show you a little bit more, it's the same sort of look all over. And I'm not sure if we have anything in mobile devices, maybe not, but
I think, I think, I think that's a really good overview of certain things in the past too. When you didn't have context, would also throw like messages or weird errors. We're also handling some of the error messaging and handling within the app to make it clear or more self-explanatory. If something happens, you don't have access to it. So those are some of the things that we're also cleaning up as we go through here. One of the other things I'd like to throw out to the audience is a call to action. If there's suggestions or things that you have for us in terms of user experience that as you use the new feature that rolls out at the end of the month that you would like us to incorporate, please send us feedback. It's not too late to bake any of that into gPanel, but what we're searching for here is to make this a comfortable and easy user experience for everyone, still giving you the power to do more in gPanel than you could with just Workspace Admin alone. And we'd love to hear your feedback. We really use our user community to help us bring this app forward and make it better for everyone.
Just to be clear, the new user interface will be rolling out on a section by section basis over what time frame?
Yeah, that's correct. We're expecting over the next 2 to 3 quarters to touch everything within gPanel and bring it to this new modern user experience. We think this quarter will finish off directory and like calendars, and then we'll move on to Drive. As we hit certain features though, we want to make enhancements. So we see Drive as an area that we can make a lot better than it is today beyond just the management. So we'll probably add more time in there than the other areas. Same with Report Center to make it easier for people to find and see reports. So those are on our roadmap as improvement plus UI enhancement.